Hey, everybody, it's Mike from the Mike Wagner Show, powered by SoundWeb Studios. Visit online at soundwebstudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, SonicWeb Studios is the answer. SonicWeb Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. That's 1-800-303-3960. Or email to support@sonicwebstudios.com. Mention the Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. SonicWeb Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international award-winning author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. Takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, 1 target, where truth is an illusion and those you love will be the first to go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson-Zia has garnered great reviews and even loved and enjoyed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Ford Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Virgo's Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon. Also, check out the Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 40 podcast platforms, heard in over 100 countries, including Facebook, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. Also, Anchor FM, iTunes, Google Play, Amazon, Audible, Apple Music. Also heard on HamiltonRadio.net, Diamonds FM, Oldies Radio, and a few networks coming soon. Take the Mike Wagner Show at the end any mobile device. Subscribe to the Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow the Mike Wagner Show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok today. And for great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. T-shirts, pop sockets, throw pillows, tote bags, hoodies, baseball gear, and more. Makes great gifts for your family, friends, and loved ones 24/7. Go to Amazon.com and check out the Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia for great books like Missing, Once, and Wrinkles. Also T-shirts, pop sockets, hoodies, phone cases, and more. Amazon.com/Mia Molson-Zia. Check it out today. I'll support the Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, themikewagnershow.com. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com at the Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who's a marketing branding genius and the founder of a really unique social outlet. And it's something we all enjoy in the summertime, but we'll talk about that. He's won widespread praise on as a global leader in promise-based branding and digital marketing. He's worked with Time Warner, Thomson Interactive, Wall Street Journal, and also Smithsonian, DuPont, and more. He also founded his own direct agency and manage accounts for Pepsi, Frito-Lay, Mars, and etc. He's also been an instructor in account management and branding and strategy at Parsons School of Design. And of course, his new company as well, too. And he also offers tips and advice on how to leverage social media to engage prospects and what to do and what not to do in some areas. And live, ladies and gentlemen, from the Plus Studios in beautiful downtown New York City, the marketing branding genius and the founder of Watermelon Social, ladies and gentlemen, the multi-talented George Stephan. George, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you, Mike. It's very kind. I appreciate it.
Well, it's great to have you on board, George. So you're a marketing branding genius and the founder of Watermelon Social. You've won widespread praise on a global level as a leader in promise-based branding and digital marketing. You also worked with Time Warner, Thomson Interactive, Wall Street Journal, also Smithsonian, DuPont, and more. You also founded your own company, Stephan Direct, and managed accounts for Pepsi, Frito-Lay, Mars, and more. You've been an instructor in account management, branding and strategy at Parsons School of Design. And of course, with Watermelon Social, you offer tips and advice on how to leverage social media platforms to engage prospects properly and more, and what to do and what not to do in LinkedIn. So for those who are on LinkedIn, listen up to this gentleman here. And of course, your new company also serves senior professionals, corporate teams, and professional athletes. And before getting all that, George, tell us how you first got started.
Say that again, Mike. I didn't.
I'm sorry. Tell us how you first got started.
Well, my story is this. I grew up in Princeton, New Jersey, and I always wanted to be in advertising.
Mm-hmm.
I imagine it was very glamorous, and graduated in a recession and spent 2 years looking and ended up at BBDO, which is a global agency in research and planning on Pepsi, Pine Sol, Unilever. Moved to FCB and moved into management, mainly on Frito-Lay. Then moved very quickly to what is now Publicis and ran the Mars confectionery business.
Wow.
My claim to fame at a very, very young age in my career was to introduce Twix cookie bars, to name it, create the category of cookie bars. And it's now multi-$100 million brand. Left young to my wife's chagrin and started a general agency, then a direct marketing shop, then a branding shop, and then a branding digital marketing shop, and most recently, Watermelon Social, which is a personal branding and content marketing company. So you might say I'm a bit of an entrepreneur, and I'm sure I'll start more down the road.
You know, something you mentioned about the Twix bar and everything else, you just hit upon one of my favorite candy bars. It's like as soon as the fish came out, I took a crunch of it. I was hooked on it. So a big thank you for making Twix bars as popular as it is. A big thank you for that. You hit upon my favorite candy bar.
Well, the way back when the brand promise for Twix was chocolate caramel and a surprising cookie crunch. And the strategy for Mars was to get into the healthier side of snack foods. And Twix was the beginning of a long line of products.
Wow, that is amazing. I have to get some Twix bars afterwards and just give a big thank you for making Twix bar very popular as is. And and what was it one precise moment that simply influenced you into what you're doing for the rest of your career?
Well, let's see, that's a good question. I'd say in terms of my entrepreneurial side, probably presenting the Twix campaign in front of Forrest and John Mars Jr. And management at the agency was very nervous about them coming over. And I did a good job. They ended up clapping. We kept $100 million worth of business. And then I was a young guy. I thought, well, maybe I can do this on my own. So that set me off on a career of entrepreneurial ventures. Watermelon Social being the very latest.
Hmm. That's really interesting too. And what was your favorite account or your favorite brand that you worked with?
Well, first one ever was Pepsi. And the last one at big corporate shops was Mars, Twix cookie bars. So I'd say it's bracketed by Pepsi and Mars. And then currently, I would say for Watermelon Social, it's a professional golfer. His name is Rob Labritz. He was one of 5 club professionals to qualify for the Champions Tour. And the senior PGA championship was just held this weekend. He came in 4th.
Nice.
So I would say he is one of my latest success stories. Great guy, love him, and I'm a crazy golfer myself. So it started Pepsi, went to say Frito-Lay, Mars, and now is with very senior leaders and professional athletes and their associated teams.
That's really interesting. You mentioned golf as well too, being an avid golfer. What's your par score?
Well, I'm a 10.9 index, which means that I shoot around 80 plus or minus. How about you, Mike?
I think I'm along the same lines, but maybe a little worse, to be honest with you. I think I probably last did that in high school on ditch day, where we just snuck a 6-pack into a golf course locally while everybody else went to, Great America, went to Wisconsin, go to Indiana, the beach, zoo, and everything. We just kept it in. But I have to say that was probably my best game out there just on ditch day. And, hit a couple of wedges out there in the dirt and just made it into a hole as well too, and knocked a couple of birds out the air. So that was probably my best game.
Wow.
Yeah, that's something too. I'll have to take up a golf game as well too. But we'll talk about your amazing product called Watermelon Social. But first, listen to the Mike Wagner Show at the MikeWagnerShow.com, powered by Sonic Web Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Looking at a professional website without breaking your budget, Sonic Web Studios is the answer. Sonic Web Studios offers fast, affordable custom web designs that blow the competition away. Call today, 1-800-303-3960. It's 1-800-303-3960, or email to support@SonicWebStudios.com. Mention Mike Wagner Show, get 20% off your first project. Sonic Web Studios, take your image to the next level. Also, time to give official shout out to our official sponsor of the Mike Wagner Show, international warring author Mia Molson-Zia. If you love fast-paced mysteries, you'll love Missing by Mia Molson-Zia, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. Missing is fast-paced and intriguing with an unforgettable twist. It takes place in 4 countries, 2 strangers, one target, where truth is illusion and those you love will be the first go missing. It's available on Amazon in paperback and ebook. Missing by Mia Molson has garnered great reviews and even loved and enjoyed by Howard celebrities, including Joanna Cassidy, Forge Riley, and many others. So grab your copy today. Four Goes Missing by Mia Molson, available on Amazon. Also, check out The Mike Wagner Show at themikewagnershow.com on over 40 podcast platforms, heard in over 100 countries, including HamiltonRadio.net, Diamonds FM, Oldies Radio, and a few networks coming soon. Take The Mike Wagner Show on any mobile device. Subscribe to The Mike Wagner Show on the YouTube channel. Follow The Mike Wagner Show on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok today. For great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com and check out The Mike Wagner Show podcast. And for more great gift ideas, go to Amazon.com/Mia Molson for great books, merchandise, and more. I'll support The Mike Wagner Show on Anchor FM, PayPal, themikewagnershow.com. You can buy me a coffee at buymeacoffee.com at The Mike Wagner Show. Make sure you do so today. We're here with a terrific gentleman who's a marketing, branding genius and founder of Watermelon Social here on The Mike Wagner Show with George Stephan. And George, before we talk about Watermelon Social, you won widespread praise as a global leader in promise-based branding and digital marketing. Tell us more about the promise-based and what inspired you to start the whole thing with promise-based and everything. So we'd like to hear more about that.
Well, okay, so a lot of people don't understand branding. They think it's a logo. They think it's maybe an ad campaign. It really starts with a promise that you can make that if you're a company, that your competitors either cannot make or have not made. If you're an individual, it's a promise that you can make that your peers cannot make or have not made. Most cases, for big companies, little companies, and leaders and their teams, they're not making any promise. And the promise is how you, base your communications campaign. And we always start with making a promise for our clients. And we do that through stakeholder interviews, through competitive analysis, and we come up with a brand promise. It's a short line. And then we build a story around it and then a campaign around that. And I'd like to think of myself as one of the leaders in promise-based branding. Most branding companies don't talk about it. That's the core of what we do. Now, you want some examples?
You
Mike?
sure can. Absolutely.
So for Watermelon Social, it's a personal branding and content marketing company. Essentially, we take leaders to market with thought leadership content to build their businesses. So we have a promise that we make. And our promise, I'm looking sideways, is we build business in a more personal and connected way. Now, people may be doing that. They're not talking about it. They're not focusing on it. That's what we do at Watermelon Social. I'll give you another one. We have a client, his name is Drew Scheinman. He was a top agent talent agent at Endeavor. He's a white space guy. He walks into the room and creates ideas that create business. So his promise is turning ideas into growth. And we build a story around him and a campaign around that. Rob Labretz, our PGA professional, is now a Champions Tour player. His promise is game on. Very positive guy, never a negative thought, puts a lot of hard work into his game, and it's now paying off. He just doubled his earnings yesterday.
Nice.
Championship. So those are some examples, but it always starts with a promise, then a story, then creative, and then outreach. For individuals in Watermelon Social, we primarily use LinkedIn, email marketing, and we've added digital PR for to add the size of the universe.
Okay. And of course, there's always a thing about LinkedIn and, of course, talking to experts as well, too. And you see all the posts up there with articles and also from professionals as well, too. And of course, the one question that most people ask, what do you properly do on LinkedIn and what not to do on LinkedIn?
Well, if you're a leader and you want to generate awareness and engagement, The thing to do is create thought leadership content around your brand and around your leadership. The thing not to do is to do promos, buy one, get one free. Thought leadership content is intended to help the audience do a better job at what they do and make more money for their companies. So what to do is thought leadership, what not to do is overt promotion. Thought leadership will gain you awareness and eventually engagement and conversation and business. But you have to be patient. It takes some time.
And what are some other common mistakes people make on LinkedIn?
Well, starting from the top on your LinkedIn profile, I just looked at yours, Mike. It looks good, by the way.
Thank you.
Is not having a professional picture, not having a banner above their picture that connects to their branding, not having a brand promise, and a story that connects and supports the promise. After that, Mike, I would say when you go down to experience, if you engage the viewer, not filling in your experience section and not connecting the experience companies to a company page on the in the LinkedIn network. Those are some of the things you ought to think about. It really starts with visuals and brand promise copy and support content for the story.
Okay. And also with Watermelon Social as well, too, you serve the senior professionals, corporate teams. Of course, you talked about professional athletes as well, too. And before getting to all that, tell us how you first started at Watermelon Social, and what was it one light bulb moment that simply said, that'll be starting with Watermelon Social?
Good question. About 4 years ago, I was sitting in my office in Soho in the New York City, and I was a little bored with corporate work. So I said, well, what can I do just to change the model? And what I did was I said, why don't we do what we're doing for leaders, branding, content marketing, build their brand, take them to market, engage with prospects inside their professional network, and in turn, generate business for their companies. So that was the idea. Then I had to come up with a name. So I wanted a name that was going to break through the clutter of pretty boring business to business content. So I thought of watermelon. And I happen to like
Clever.
watermelon, but it makes some sense strategically because watermelon is colorful, it's tasty, breaks through the clutter, and most importantly, it's always shared. And a lot of what we do for our clients at Watermelon Social is to share content. So you put watermelon together with social, and that's the name. And a lot of people smile when they hear it or see it. And that's a great beginning to tell a story.
Hmm.
So I tried to break through the clutter with something that was not traditionally business and something that's memorable.
Mm-hmm.
That's
And
how it started.
is watermelon your actual favorite?
It is. I love
Amazing.
it.
Wow.
I love it. But Mike, no one ever buys a watermelon and goes into a room and eats it alone. They cut it up and they share it. And I must admit I do that myself. But yeah, I ate watermelon yesterday.
Wow, amazing. We just had some a while back ourselves too. And of course, there's always a seeds. You can do something creative. You can, plant them, you can spit them, or can just have like a watermelon seed contest. You flick and there's contests out there. You can like who can flick the farthest as well. So you had that fun with watermelon.
Well, yeah, it's fun. And yeah, I used to do flick the seeds as a kid. I hadn't thought of that, but it's all it's part of our culture. And most importantly, it's fun for me and it's fun for the people we work with and for the team. So that's it. 4 years ago, we've done over 100 clients, individuals, corporate teams, and we've gotten some pro athletes along the way. We started by doing it for free for some of my senior friends. We started with branding only. We added content so that they can generate sales. And now we're doing mainly for companies, both for profit and nonprofit.
Okay. And also too, how does one join Watermelon Social?
How does one join?
Join, yes.
Uh,
Or
yeah,
sign up.
well, if you want to sign up, you can go to watermelonsocial.com. You can fill out the contact form and we'll be in touch. That's how I just got this lead about 20 minutes ago from a pretty big performance marketing company. You can find Watermelon Social on LinkedIn, on Facebook, on Twitter, primarily LinkedIn, either through my personal profile or for the company profile. And we're happy to talk.
Hmm. And lastly, what else does Watermelon Social offer?
Well, mainly it's branding, which builds long-term value for individuals and companies. Content marketing, which gets that content out on a regular basis to get engagement. We offer digital PR through Michelle, and SEO, SEM for websites, website design and build. But most of the work that we do is in branding and content marketing. The content marketing produces revenue for our clients as well as for us. So that's primarily what it is.
And what else do you plan to add on in the future for Watermelon Social?
I think we really need to build out the digital PR side because mainly we target the networks of the leaders and the teams that we work with. Some of them can go up to 20 or 30,000 contacts, but most of them are in the 2 or 3,000. So digital PR expands the reach. So I think that's probably our next big step to build that out as part of the package that we offer our clients.
Okay. And once again, where can we find Watermelon Social at?
Watermelonsocial.com. That's our website.
Watermelonsocial.com. And for those on LinkedIn, take note as well, too. What's coming up for George Stephan with his amazing company and more? We'll find out just 1 minute. You listen to the Mike Widener Show at the MikeWidenerShow.com, powered by SonicWeb Studios. Visit online at SonicWebStudios.com for all your needs. Also brought to you by our official sponsor, the Mike Widener Show, international war-ring author Mia Wilson's The Missing, available on Amazon and paperback and ebook. We'll be back with the founder of Watermelon Social, George Stephan, after this timeout. We're back with the amazing multi-talented George Stephan here on the Mike Widener Show with Watermelon Social, and also a marketing, branding genius and founder of Watermelon Social, and worked a number of agencies. And what else can we expect from you in 2022 and beyond, George?
Well, we're growing. We're growing rapidly, and Watermelon Social and George Stephan uses what we practice what we preach. We are putting out thought leadership on personal branding, content marketing via LinkedIn, articles and posts. We are matching that with email marketing, and we're adding most recently digital PR. So just expect more work, more clients, and we're building a bigger team. That's what we are looking at for 2022. COVID actually helped us grow greatly between 2020 and now.
Mhm.
People meet other people online, online branding, online content, as you probably know, Mike, has become more and more important. So that trend continues despite people going into the office, mostly part-time these days.
Hmm. And I think many of us as well, too, we all prefer our own office, as you could tell. So, I mean, that's just a big thing as well. And who do you consider biggest influence in your career?
My biggest influence was the man that helped me move from research into account management at FCB, which is another global shop. His name is Paul Tully. In those days, you were not permitted to move from one department to the next. I love research and planning, but I wanted to be at the center of things. So Paul Tully was and is my godfather. He dragged me across the line and helped me move to accounts like Frito-Lay, Schering Plough, And I actually managed the Newsweek magazine account while I was there. So I would say, Paul, if he's listening, I want to thank you for doing that.
And certainly he'll be proud of that, George. And what's the best advice you can give to anybody at this point?
Best advice to who?
Anybody
Anybody?
in
Uh,
general.
well, I would say do what you love. And people say, so how do you relax? How do you de-stress? And I say, well, I do a few things. I golf. I'm a distance swimmer, and I love the best part of branding, which is ideation, invention, making stuff up that works and builds businesses and generates revenue. Those are so. My overall advice is stick to what you love, and if you're doing what you love, eventually the rewards will follow.
And certainly true today as well, too. Once again, we're with George Stephan, the marketing, branding genius and founder of Watermelon Social here on the Mike Wagner Show. George, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely fantastic. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date, keep in touch. Love to have you back. And once again, tell us about your upcoming projects, what's your website, how do people contact, and where can people get more information about Watermelon Social?
Thank you, Mike. I appreciate the invite.
Okay. And what's your website and how do people get a hold of you?
Once again, it's watermelonsocial.com. You can go to the site and fill out a contact form or call me direct. Also, you can go to my LinkedIn profile, George Stephan at LinkedIn, and Watermelon Social at LinkedIn. The parent company, by the way, is stephanpartners.com. That's more of our corporate side. You can go to that site. We also have a Stephan Partners LinkedIn page. So those are the best ways to get to me.
We will certainly do so. Once again, George, a very big thank you for your time. You've been absolutely amazing. Learned a lot from you. Looking forward to having you again soon. Make sure you keep us up to date. Keep in touch. Love to have you back. We wish you all best, and you definitely have a great future ahead of you.
Thank you, Mike. Appreciate it.